sweeping. By the way, we've got this 9-month-old hairy dog that every day I think loses another square foot of hair onto our floor in the kitchen. So we're sweeping just literally every day. And we sweep everything into a nice, I don't want to say neat, but a pile. And then we sweep it up into a dustpan. I say we. It's me and the mouse in my pocket, I guess. And yeah, I sweep it up into a dustpan. And I pick it up and I look down in it. Have you ever done that? You ever like, is there anything of value in here? Okay. Is there a diamond in there? Somebody lose it. In Genesis 1, it begins by saying, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The next part says this, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness covered the waters, and the Spirit of God hovered above the waters. That tells us that there was no order, no function, no rhyme or reason in what things were like before God began to create. In fact, if you're looking into your dustpan at the pile of dog hair and food pieces and everything else that's there in your dustpan, that's probably about what everything looked like before God got busy creating. Okay? That's probably a great analogy for us. That's what things were like before He got started. Then God said, let there be light. And that's what began what we call 6 days of creation, right? And your notes are wrong. I said 6 times, and I actually found that there were 7 times in Genesis 1. There are 7 times in Genesis 1 where it says, and God saw that it was good. And God saw that it was good. So God took this dustpan of dog hair and floor sweepings, and He made it good. He made it good. In fact, the very last verse in the chapter says, then God looked over all He had made, and He saw that it was very good. Very good. Something I want you to note in Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. It says, in the middle of the garden, He placed the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Where's the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? In the center of the garden. In the center of the garden. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil is right smack dab in the middle of the garden. You know what that means? That if God saw that tree and said it was very good, that was a good tree. There were no bad apples on the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That tree was not on the wrong side of the tracks. There's a balance between darkness and light. Darkness is not the opposite of light because it gives no value to light. There's no balance between cold and heat because cold gives no valuation to heat. And the same is true of good and evil. There's no balance between good and evil because evil gives no valuation to good. Evil gives no valuation to good. It is simply the absence of good. And so you have this tree in the middle of the Garden of Eden. And the tree has a message for Adam and Eve. And the message was this. If you want to find evil, all you have to do is choose to walk away from good. If you want to find evil, all you have to do is choose to walk away from good. Remember Sir Edmund Burke's quote, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. I've heard people talk about the sun going down and the darkness creeping in, or the temperature change. As soon as the sun goes down and it starts to cool off, you've heard statements like the cold is creeping in. Right? And there's a part of this where I think what we see is that it creeps because it doesn't produce any energy. It consumes it. It doesn't produce energy. It consumes it. Evil's not the opposite of good. It's the absence of it. And yet, here's something we do. We attribute a value to evil. Or how about just bad? How about let's just call it bad. We attribute a value to bad. Just as we do to darkness and cold. Here's why I say it. I'll be in conversations with people. We'll be talking, having a good time, carrying on the conversation. And then they'll say, well, I need to go now. I say, all right, man, well, you be good. And they turn around to look at me, and they're joking. I hope. They turn around and look at me and say, oh, man, why'd you take all the fun? I know they're joking, right? I know they're joking, but there's something that they say that suggests there's a valuation there. How many of you know about James Dean, Marlon Brando, Brad Pitt? Some guys that are known as bad boys. And somehow or another, bad boys are appealing. Why? Because, I don't know what it is, but women like bad boys, and so therefore guys want to be bad boys because that's what the girls want. And so what we see is an evaluation placed upon bad. We eat and we drink and we watch stuff that we shouldn't, you know. We have too many sodas during the day. Maybe we eat too much fried food or too much butter on those sweet potatoes. Excess. And then somebody says, man, you need to cut back. And by the way, if you've ever been out to eat with me or something with sweet potatoes or baked potatoes, and you see me piling on the butter on my potatoes, my children think I'm going to have a heart attack because of the amount of butter I put on my potatoes. And they say, you're going to have a heart attack because why? Because that much butter is bad for you. And I will say, I'll be okay. But we attribute a valuation to bad that we consume. That's all right. I'll be okay. Now it's Mother's Day. We've got a lot of mamas here, right? Okay. A lot of you mamas have your children here. Some of you mamas have your children that drove in from out of town. Why? You know that Mother's Day is probably the second most attended church service out of the calendar year. And I think the reason why is because mamas want their kids in church on that day. You're going to go to church with me. How many of you mamas guilted your kids into coming today? Yeah? We have some honesty. It's good. I think mamas want their kids to do good. I think mamas want their kids to be good. And I think that mamas want their kids to experience good. And mamas are protective of their kids. And if mama had her way, she'd probably fix your meals, pick your friends, pick your future spouse, tell you what doctor to go to. Are you taking your... Whenever I was ill, growing up, 20 years old, something like that, and I'd have a cold or something, I'd call her, and she said, Monty, are you okay? Yeah, I got the cold. Are you taking your vitamin C with rose hips? No, Mom. You need to get you some. Yes, Mom. Okay. Mama had her way. If Mama had her way, she made sure that you were taken care of. That's what mamas do. Mamas want their kids to do good, to be good, to experience good. You should probably make sure that you had an extra pair of clean underwear in your glove compartment of your car. That way, if you ever were in a wreck, at least you had a chance to have clean underwear when the ambulance came to get you. To find evil, all you have to do is choose to walk away from good. To find evil, all you have to do is choose to walk away from good. And we don't have to look very far, right? Evil's everywhere around us. Everywhere around us. And there's a part of me that's like, man, I need to be careful that I'm not painting myself as just like, doomsday sayer or end times chronicle or something like that. But I just want to get some thoughts right quick on this. Thermostats are probably set about 71 right now, 71, 72-ish. How many of you are hot right now? How many of you are freezing? Okay. Did you see that? There ain't no pleasing you people. Alright? There ain't no pleasing you people. Have you ever had a fight with somebody over the thermostat? Which time? That's what I was afraid of. What I was afraid of. Have you ever had a fight with somebody over the thermostat because it's either too hot or too cold? See, here's something you need to understand. Not all cold is absolute zero, and not all dark is pitch black. And so therefore, in order for that to be, it's because there's a little bit of heat coming into the cold, or there's a little bit of light coming into the darkness. And so this idea of evil, not everything is pure evil, okay? Not everything is pure evil, because there's probably some things that have some good in it. There's some things that have good in it. And so this is like a thermostat. You've got to modify and adjust how much good in order to establish how much evil is okay, right? We're born with this thermostat. Now I'm gonna give it a name, okay? This thermostat that we have for evil, we're going to call it an evil meter, okay? An evil meter, okay? And we're going to just have a setting on the evil meter of what evil we will justify, okay? And I'll give some of you like, what? Hear me out. So, is butter evil? We have a guess. Anybody want to say no? No. Okay. All right. Now, the truth of the matter is that what butter does is it can clog up your arteries, knock your cholesterol out of whack. So it's got the potential to be evil. But in order for it to be justifiable, how much butter you put on your potato, you have to adjust how much good you're allowed to put on that. So we're going to set the dial for butter. The evil meter butter. Oh, it's kind of high. I'm okay. And there's a whole lot of good to butter. Not much evil. It's okay. How about? I've got some good examples written down. Let me find them here. I must have jumped ahead. No? Okay.